Welcome, everybody, to One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I am Kirk DeMars, and man, do we got a program for you tonight. Hey, it is Super Bowl 55 week. 55. You know what? That is a good year, 1966. That's when Mr. Neil Smith and myself were born. So we're celebrating that with you guys tonight. He's doing his a little ahead of time. I'm older than he is, but not by a whole lot. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring on my co-host, Jay Gill, and we're just going to be excited to get this started and be prepared with comments and questions all throughout the night. We'll see those on there, and we'll make sure that we get your comments on screen. Right now, here's my co-host, Jay Gill. Jay, what is going on?
Hey, what's up, Dad? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. You guys getting any snow out there this week?
No snow this week. It's beautiful and sunny, and we're enjoying good weather. But not as much as I'm about to enjoy tonight and tonight's interview. I'll tell you that.
All right, very good. Hey, you know what? Your mom from Arizona just said hi, so we'll say hi back, Mom, right?
Yeah. Hi, Mom. How are you?
All right.
Hey, tonight we are joined by two awesome men. First up, we have Derek Spicer joining us. Derek's been on the show before, so be sure to go back and check out his episode as well. If you missed it, you can actually just Google Derek Spicer Boxing Hall of Fame, and the first video that pulls up is our interview on Sports Locker Nation. So check that out. Derek is also running to be a councilman for the Jefferson City Ward number 4. So voting will take place on April 6th. Be sure to vote. Be sure to get out there and vote. Derek, being the natural promoter that he is, and honestly just a genuine nice guy, he was able to reach out to a good buddy of his and see if he'd want to join us this week for Super Bowl 55 week. And we are honored, electrified, beyond super excited that he got us Neil Smith, legendary defensive end Neil Smith. Now, I know here in mid-Missouri, you guys know that name. He is a 6-time Pro Bowler. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. He's a member of the Kansas City Chiefs Hall of Fame. And hopefully soon he'll be a member of the National Football League Hall of Fame. He was also picked on the 1990s. Let's see. He was one of the 1990s. What am I looking for? All-decade team. I couldn't think of the word. All-decade team.
That's
and
awesome.
So only 4 defensive ends got picked to be on the all-decade team, and Neil Smith was one of them. So I just want you to wrap your head around that. This guy, he's put up amazing career numbers. He played 13 seasons in the NFL, 9 with the Chiefs, 3 with the Broncos, and 1 with the Chargers. All right there in the AFC West. So that's super exciting. And we're super, super pumped up to get him on the show with us. So, Dad, how excited are you? Are you ready for this?
I'm excited. It's looking like you're about ready to explode over there, but hey.
Oh, hey, I'm always full of energy. It gets my mind going. So you know me. I love having fun.
All right, you're good. You ready to bring him on?
Let's bring him on.
All right, here we go. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, fellas?
Hey,
Thank you
Derek.
for the
Hey,
introduction.
Neil.
I really appreciate it.
It's good to have you on here, guys. We appreciate you. Hey, Neil, why don't you tell us a little bit real quick about your friend there, Mr. Derek Spicer, and how you got to know him. And I see he's got a nice shirt on there. Maybe you can talk about that a little bit.
D Spice, my man. Like we the big fella. I've been knowing him for almost 20 years, man. And what a great guy to meet and enjoy his company. Everybody know Derek Spicer. You know, anybody that's in the Midwest know about D Spice. You know what all he done. You know, in the community, not just the community. He's been involved with so many different outlets as far as for doing the stuff in community work, and now he's running for an office. And he asked me, you know, can I come and help him raise some money and get him to the next level to be, you know, a city councilman? I said, absolutely, brother. Anything you want, I'm there for you. And my prayers first go out to him and his wife, you know, that she have her struggles through, you know, beating cancer, and we all for her, and we love her to death, and we want to wish her very well in the beginning. And this Derek Spicer guy, man, I'm all in with him. I'm all in. I know he got a lot of backing in Jeff City, and we just hope to get him to that next level.
Very good. Very good. Derek,
Appreciate that, brother.
Your turn, Derek. Go ahead, man.
Man, I've known Neil, like I said, 20 plus years, and just a class act. You know, for what he's done for the community, for his football, and just a family man like he is. He's just probably one of the best guys you'll ever meet. He's a man of his word. If he says he's going to do something, he does it. I may have to twist his ear a few times, but he always comes through though. But I consider him a brother. So, like I said, there's nothing that I wouldn't do for him, and I think the feeling's mutual. So, and I really appreciate his accomplishments on the field too. I'm not friends with him because of what he done in the sport. I'm friends with him because of the person he is.
And tell him how you got me to play a sport that I didn't play in a long time. What happened to me?
Well,
let him off easy, Derek. This guy makes me think I don't want to do.
Show, knows that I played a lot of softball in my life. And, I play Jamestown every year. And, I always try to bring somebody out. Well, I brought the big dog out one time to play. And he was having fun,
one
had a
time?
good time. Well, a couple times. he had a great time. I tried to get him to come out again, but I think it was the second time that he pulled 2 hamstrings. So I thought I'd let him slack. But I'm trying to get him back in shape so I can bring him back because he could
He's
definitely
just like
get
a promoter, man.
implemented
That's
with
what
the
he
best
do.
of them.
He's a promoter. He just want to just get the guy to the next level. Never want to say it's you're done. I got a little bit more for you. But I got a question
Isn't
for
that
you,
what I'm
Derek.
supposed to
It ain't
say?
happening, brother.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Well, hey,
but
my mother-in-law and Jay's, I guess you would say, what do you usually call her? Grandmother-in-law?
I call her grandma.
Grandma, yeah. Well, she said, watch Jay. He might need some oxygen. So you guys help me out keeping an eye on him up over there in the corner. So, hey, Jay,
Jay,
why
I
don't
got
you
my CPAP back there. If you want to use my CPAP machine, you're welcome.
Thank you. I
Use it.
appreciate that.
That's great. Hey, anybody, Jay, why don't you go ahead and kick off with your first question, and we'll get going with that and ask Neil, and we'll take a break here in about another 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll have another segment. So go ahead.
Sounds good. Neil, why don't you kind of tell us about starting off your career, playing football, and then your decision to attend the University of Nebraska?
Well, football, was just one of those sports that I played. I was a 4-sport guy or more. And I enjoyed playing, I enjoyed doing track and field. Basketball was my life. And, and I played a little baseball because the baseball coach said, hey, man, I love the way you speed. You can hit the ball. And then the football guy came out and was like, hey, man, we need another guy at this position. Can you come out and play? So I became a 4-star guy going into high school. And just like, I was just a jock of all jocks. I was undersized. I had a high energy. I was eager to learn anything that I wanted to learn as far as, entertaining myself in sports. And then I just gave it a chance. I just like, hey, you know what? I can do them all. When they all just rolled around, I was just right there in it and say, hey, I want to do it. And I loved it. And when it came the time to commit, I had to commit to another one. I got a scholarship to go to a A1 school in basketball, and I chose not to do it because they wanted me to come and be a 1 or 2 guard. And I said, well, I'm gonna try this football thing because there's more guys I can get, I could probably give myself a little bit of time to get acclimated to it and then have an opportunity to learn about it a little bit more. And then, and you know what? You look at 15 guys, I just look at my eyes. My eyes was very against me playing football than basketball. Chose the right sport.
Very good. Well, you did it, and you did it well. You went back talking about softball, and we shared before you came on the program that, I remember playing against you. I was at shortstop, and I saw you standing, when I was at bat, you were standing over on first base, and I about dropped. I was like, what is he doing out here?
You thought I was gonna strike out. You just thought I was just a guy I feel in or whatever. I know I kind of shocked you a little bit.
He brought in some ringers. I was like, what's gonna happen when I try to round first base? Am I gonna get leveled like one of those quarterbacks in the NFL? That was a little intimidating, but it was awesome. It was awesome.
I thought about it a little bit. It was a little flashback, but you didn't have the right uni on.
Good. That was not by anything that I had planned, but that was good. I didn't, so that's great. Hey, you were drafted number 2 pick in the first round by the Chiefs back in 1988, but you also played for the Denver Broncos and at the San Diego Chargers, which I found interesting. 2 of them in the same division. And man, I was such a Chiefs fan, but I couldn't go against you when you were playing because I loved watching you play so much. Tell us a little bit about your stint with those 2 teams before we go on and talk about the Chiefs.
Well, as you know, I was born a Chiefs, and it was time. It's a business, and during that time, they started free agency. And when free agency came about, the Chiefs was trying to go into another direction, and they wanted to, move on, with one of the 2 of the players, and I was just one of the 2 that they eventually wanted to depart with, and no harm foul. I did all the right things that I wanted to do as far as to the Chief organization is pay respect. and do the right thing that I've done and what I accomplished in Kansas City as far as leaving wise. And the thing was is that, you know, I wanted to go around and tell everybody that the Kansas City Chiefs absolutely didn't do anything negative to Neil Smith. You know, everything was all on the upside and good, and we're still that way today. I'm happy to be a Chief. I was happy to be born a Chief. I'm always going to bleed red, even now throughout Nebraska. But then when I made that transition over to Denver, it was just a piece that Denver needed. That it was, the timing was just right for me. The timing was right for them, and it fit the perfect piece into the perfect scenario. And things that happened. It unfolded that we won 2 world championships back to back, and great guys, great organizations. Can't have anything, you know, to say about them. You know, rest in peace, Mr. B. He was really for his team, and you know, Coach Shanahan, you know, at Hams, that he had a group of guys. And before I got there, they could have three-peated. So like this Chief team right now, you know, they was one away from being three-peaters, and this Chief team is trying to get their second championship right now. And it's kind of almost in the same way, but different time zone that things that happen. But all to the best, man. I just, you know, I look back at my career and it's like, you know, I have no default whatsoever on it. It was a blessing to play. I know I stepped off the stage about, you know, going to San Diego, and Junior Seau called me and said, hey, I need you. A great friend of mine's, you know, that played his heart and soul to the game to a different level. He asked me to come in because a couple of guys that, you know, went down at the position, and I granted him his wish. He said, okay, I would do it. I would only do it just for you, Junior, and become his teammate along with Rodney Harris. Those guys were tremendous. They were always champions in my life. And Rodney Harris proved that, you know, after he left San Diego and went on to New England and had an excellent career. And, you know, of course, you know, Junior and the death of Derek Thomas, 2 guys that I lost, you know, at such a young age that, you know, it really empowered me, you know, to really enjoy life a lot more.
Yeah. Well, there was nothing like watching you and Derek out on the field just crashing the backfield. That was amazing. We're going to get ready to go do our first promotional break here with one of our sponsors. When we come back, I want to share a little bit of story that I have as far as growing up, a little rivalry with my brother and I between Oklahoma and Nebraska. So we'll do our quick break, and then we will be right back.
Nation bow before him, bow before my Lord. Let every nation bow before him, bow before my Lord. Rulers and kingdoms will adore and bow before my Lord. And our salvation is secure in the hand of the Lord.
Who's Scooter?
All right, we're back, and that was Diesel Power Plus, one of our sponsors, and she can say hi to us real quick.
Oh, she'll be back.
All right, not a problem. That's cool. Hey, I got to put up something here real quick. A friend of mine, John Hickey, Darren Hickey, he said, number 90, exclamation point. You got a lot of fans out there. Thanks, John, for that comment. I want to get real quick. You know, my brother, he was a year younger. He passed away about 9 years ago from a brain aneurysm, but I can remember us when we were growing up watching that Nebraska-Oklahoma football game. And I was a Sooners fan, but I had a great appreciation for you and when you played with Nebraska and the Black Shirts. And from then on, I was hooked in following you. And so, you know, my brother would be pretty excited that we have you on here tonight. So pretty cool.
Well, may I say rest in peace in your brother. I really thank you for that, sharing that small story with me. And that's what life is about. It's all about small things that really impound our life and that will stick with us forever. I can remember the Oklahoma and Nebraska days was great rivalries, man. It was I never forget Nebraska came at me and they wanted me to come there to play for them, but then they had Barry Switzer that asked me to come over to the University of Oklahoma to do an interview, and he wanted me really bad. So I had to choose between Nebraska and Oklahoma. Excuse me. Barry Switzer said then, he said, you know what, Neil? He said, like, I seen him after I signed and committed with Nebraska, and he said, you know what? Neil Smith, and this guy is so sharp. This is what I love about Coach Swisher. He said Neil Smith. He said Neil Smith. He said McDonald 35, New Orleans, Louisiana, and he said class of 1984. And I looked at him. I'm like, Coach, do you still remember that? And he said, absolutely. He said, you know what? I recruited the guy. He said, I recruited you. I wanted you. And he said, you went to Nebraska. He said, you know, the guy that I told to go get you, I had to fire him because he didn't get you. And then he did the flip, and he said, you know what? He was at the University of Nebraska, and you ain't beat us in 4 years. I said, you're right, Coach. You're right. But we had some excellent rivalries all the way up until then, and then the time changed again. So yeah, I do remember, and some of those memories is still stuck with me.
Those were some great games. And my mom, she made a comment. My brother Kerry wouldn't give in, no matter how many of us liked the Boomer Sooners. He would not give in. He was solid all the way through.
You always won, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, thank you for sharing a little bit of that. Jay, go ahead and go with your next question, sir.
Yeah, obviously, we want to talk about your time as a Kansas City Chief. Tell us about some of your favorite highlights there.
Oh my goodness, man! I can remember. I played for Kansas City for 9 years, and I can remember that before I even got to Kansas City, the late great Al Davis called me up the night before and said that you're going to be an Oakland Raider. Neil Smith, this is Al Davis. And I was like, oh my God, I about lost my mind, lost my bladder and everything else that come behind it at that phone call that night in my room before I went up in New York and before the world. And he said, you're my guy. And I sit there and I waited and I got all dressed up and I had my silver and black on and I was ready to go, figuring that Al Davis said he's going to come through with his dream. And I get up there and I can hear all this. You can hear things that was going on, but you really didn't know because you was in a hall that, Kansas City moved up and, it took the spot of Detroit, and then Detroit traded down, and now the Kansas City's on the clock now. You hear all this stuff. And then Kansas City come out and say they chooses the second guy overall, Neil Smith. And I just sit there and I froze because I was like, that's my name, but I don't know what to do. Everybody like, go, man, go. Get up there. So I'm like, okay, I got up and he gave me the Chief helmet. It kind of shocked me, right? I'm like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be Oakland Raider. I'm supposed to be Oakland Raider. But, the hearsay, I'm like, I was happy to be, a Kansas City Chiefs. And man, I tell you what, this is one of the greatest organizations that you can ever be a part of. I play with some great ones, but this one by far, with Lamar Hunt, the late Lamar Hunt, and what Clark has done in changing this whole atmosphere. And hats off to, Carl Peterson, Mark Schottenheimer, all those guys that was there in the 90s that put this thing together, that, Andy Reid, a great coach as he is, can step in and take that model of what the Chiefs really been lacking throughout all the years and take it to another hype. And then he called that team the team to beat. And not just that, they became world champions, and now they be trying to do the back-to-back thing. They're trying to run it back, excuse me. They don't do back-to-back. They're trying to run it back, which I love the logo that they're trying to do. So, my hats off to them, and hopefully that they this Sunday they can go out and capture that moment one more time, because everyone knows this is a very special moment to anybody that ever played it, such as I, and I never felt the defeat side of it. Don't know what it felt like, but I could say that it's great, fine memories, and the whole thing.
Well, man, we loved watching you play. And Derek, why don't you share real quick what you enjoyed watching when Mr. Neil Smith was on the football field as a Chief?
Well, when he played, all his sacks, for George Brett, his baseball swing. So that was great. And I really, respect the relationship that Neil had with his teammates. Him and DT was really close. and he was really close with a lot of his teammates, but he was just a headhunter, man. He did what he had to do to get the job done, and I respect a guy that goes to work and plays hard and for the love of the game and not for the contract or the money. So he reminds me of another guy that does another sport on the other side of the state, Ozzie Smith.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
For the love of the game.
that's
It's
right.
not for the for the money. It's I'm taking his head off. I'm taking that quarterback's head off.
Well, you know
But
why you said that the Ozzie Smith guy on the other side of town, right? Because it's a Smith brother.
That's
yeah,
right, the
that's
Smith
right,
brothers.
brother. But what I'm saying is they played the game for the love of the game and
Yeah, thank you. I
and
appreciate
not
it.
just not just the big contracts and the other stuff. Money's nice, but at the end of the day, a lot of these guys now they forget where they come from and the roots. But Neil's from Louisiana, New
Mhm.
Orleans, and his mom was a great lady. Sorry, rest in peace to her.
Mhm.
He just lost her not too long ago. Great
Sorry
lady,
for that.
and it shows the character and the person he is too. So, great family. So I'm just honored to be able to be as close as I am to him and his family and his kids, and it's just a blessing. So
Yeah. Well, we definitely appreciate that, and Neil, from us, we're sorry at the loss of your mom too. Um,
Thank you so much, and I will just put a spin on that. Thank you, Derek, for allowing yourself to say that. It means
yeah,
a lot to me and my family. That all the prayers and thoughts that I've came and gotten throughout this this whole ordeal with my mother. One of the closest things I've ever had. And, I do not wish this on anyone. But yet we live in this world where we once come here and we do our body of work what's on this earth, and then after that we have to leave. I can say that I'm not feel cheated at one bit of this whole deal, because my mom lived to 84, 85 years old, and some people get cut shorter than this, and and I just, it's a blessing to have that type of person that was a part of my life, that lived and believed and in me, and taught me the way, and taught me and gave me the she went through the struggle, but I went through the war, as far as trying to keep it together, and I did, and I commend her for that. Thank you so much.
that's great. Moms, they make a big difference. Mine's watching tonight, and Jay's mom's watching tonight. We got a lot of moms watching, but
Well,
your mom, I know she's proud of you and everything that you accomplished and did. And Jay's mom, as a matter of fact, said, "God bless you, Neil." And my sister said, "Good luck, Derek. Hope you win." So she's
appreciate that.
shouting out
Thank
for
you.
you. And then she
sweet.
also wanted to know your prediction for the Super Bowl, but we're not going to do that yet. We're going to wait until the next segment to do that. So,
Okay.
uh, Jay, you got another question that you want to ask Neil before we move on to the next section?
Yeah, one thing, talking about, Derek Thomas and your relationship with him. I love that you guys had started this foundation, the
Oh,
Third and Long Foundation, and I thought I was reading about that today, and I followed that golf tournament. You do that big celebrity golf tournament every year, and you've really carried that torch. Because Derek passed away, in 2000. So, we're coming up on 21 years that you've been carrying the torch and keeping this thing going. And I wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about the Third and Long Foundation, because it's very cool that you still do that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jay. I tell you what, man. I want to say congratulations to Derek Thomas, and the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame for inducting him on last night, where I was in Springfield to get him inducted to the Missouri Hall of Fame. What a tremendous show that they guys put on for those guys that got that award. And I said that it was a first class act, and thank the Missouri Hall of Fame for inducting me back in 2000, I think 2008 or 2006. I can't remember, but Derek Thomas, what could I say about the young man? life was cut short. But what a giant for a man that I can say that probably, and I can say this here off the cuff, he is the best person that I ever think that put on the uniform of the Kansas City Chiefs. I can say that in remorse. And I can't say that because I know the great, Patrick Mahomes that's up and coming as a young kid. Look what he's doing, his number wise, and how he, enlightened his city. And Derek Thomas had that same passion, the same feeling that, Patrick have, the same game changes that Patrick has in him. And, but his life was cut short, due to the accident. But I tell you what, when Derek died, it took a lot out of me as a person. It took a lot out of me as a friend. It took a lot out of me as a brother to this guy. And we competed and we challenged each other in so many different ways. And I can say that, he meant a lot to me. Carl Peterson said it best last night when he accepted this award. He said that, Derek was a model for the Kansas City Chiefs for where they want to go into the next generation. And I tell you what, look at Patrick Mahomes and this Chiefs team, to how they've done things now and how they're going to be in the next few years, the team to be. We got to feel proud. I'm feeling proud for not just Derek. I'm feeling proud for myself, and I'm feeling proud for the Third and Long Foundation for what Derek stood for in the community and how we get active into the community. We're just trying to save kids. We're trying to give kids the empowerment and the enlightenment for everything that they're trying to achieve in life. And for us to reach down and take these kids that don't have, unfortunately, the tools that they need to impel themselves. Look at myself. Yes, I've done a lot of great things, but people don't know that, I was one of those kids that had a learning disability. And I can stand before you today and say that, you know what, I had to go through something to get to where I was. And that I went through. If you don't acknowledge it, you would lose it in every atmosphere. So I say to myself that, I love my kids at the Third and Long Foundation. I love the board for what they're doing. God bless all of our, our board members. Miss Betty Brown was our president. Carl Peterson, that's always been there. Donald Willard, she's been there from day one. I mean, we have a whole lot of board members that's really put in, and we keep that light that's inflamed in Kansas City because it's important for us. And as long as I'm here, as long as I'm breathing, I will be a part of this Third and Long Foundation. And it's a great tribute to Derek because of what he's done for me and changing my life and bringing my game to another level.
Yep, you guys. I mean, you're talking about him. Yes, he was, but so are you. So are you, sir. You an excellent representative of not only the Chiefs but of the game, and we loved watching you. We're going to get into a little bit more after this break. If you want to, you can pull the people that you wanted to pull on the screen, and we can take a look at them and say hi to them right after we're done with this quick promotional for CNS Business Services. So if you want to do that, we'll be happy to say hi to them. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
It's time to show what you're made of. At CNS Business Services, we know how to connect employees with employers. We've been doing just that for over 40 years. CNS works with top employers in Central Missouri, placing employees in positions that meet the needs of the employee as well as the employer. At CNS, we take the work out of finding you work. Contact CNS Business Services. It's time to take control of your employment future.
Say yes to CNS.
All right. Hey, we're back. We are back, and they're gonna come back here and say hi to us. Hi, how are you girls?
Say hi, guys.
Hi,
What's your names?
Kinley, Mila.
All right, very good. I'm
They're
Kirk.
twins,
I'm Kirk,
Kirk.
and that's Jay over on the other side up there.
How you doing, girls?
You know that guy,
That's
right?
And that's Deezy. You remember Derek? Remember Big
Okay.
D? Say hey.
Awesome. Are you guys taking care of Dad?
Yeah.
You're
Sometimes.
doing- good. You're doing a great job. Hey,
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
It's like that. They go.
That's awesome. Jay would bring in his four children, but that might be chaos in that little room.
Oh, Jay, that's 4 of 8.
That's 4 of 8.
No, that's 2 of 8. Let's do it, baby.
Jay, are you ready to make
That's
an announcement?
awesome.
Jay, are you ready to make an announcement yet?
I mean, I guess if you're gonna
Uh-huh.
put me on the spot,
I will.
Go ahead.
yeah,
You want to spot? I love it.
we did find out that we are having baby number 5.
Are you
It's a boy.
serious?
My man.
I'm serious. It's a boy, and he's due July 21st. So, yep,
All
very,
right.
very excited.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, we're
Thank you.
excited for you, Jay.
What? Put in that work, man. That body work is so important.
So,
That's gonna be
Absolutely.
another grandkid.
so Neil, this is what I was a little concerned about. You know, they've named all their kids by the alphabet, so it's Audrey, Bowman, Channing, Deacon, and Ezra. But you said you had 8 kids. There's 26 letters in the alphabet.
Brother, man, you got a long way to go. You ain't just scratching the surface. You want to get to 26. And God bless your wife if she want to go there.
No, I don't think so.
No, she's pretty awesome. So very
Well, you
good.
know what? He's a young guy, so I figure, you know, he did like that many. I think I'm gonna predict 9 or 10 before he's done.
Oh,
You hear that, Pawpaw? You hear that?
I think your wife is probably muting the program now.
Then I mean, no
Probably.
pocket, no time off,
Hey,
and
your
all
mom,
hard work.
your mom says I've been waiting to talk about it, and so yes, I put you on the spot right here on Super Bowl 55 week, and here you go. Good intro. Your next question, sir.
Awesome. Well, it's definitely Super Bowl 55 week, and a lot of people are looking for predictions. We would love to hear yours, Neil. You've got, you know, the greatest of all time quarterback in Tom Brady versus the young gun. They call him the kid. I'll call him Baby Goat. You know, what's your prediction? Who's going to win today? Win on Sunday?
You know, I went to the last 10 Super Bowls, and I say what, I've seen Tom Brady plays, and I respect everything that this man did. And mathematically, I was sitting there a few years back when he came back from 25, and I was doing the math on my hands. How many possessions did he need to have to overcome 25? And then I was doing the math, and I was like, it's human impossible that this can happen. So the GOAT is the GOAT. And the GOAT is going to be the GOAT until someone take the GOAT down and the baby becomes, you know, the dad or the father. So I tell you what, Tom Brady, awfully respect for him, but I think it's time to what? Pass that torch on over to the little baby GOAT and let him just take it on into the future for Patrick Mahomes. This kid is so special, man. I'm like, I wish I had a quarterback. We wish we had a quarterback back in the 90s like this kid right here because he's exceptional, special. He's good at what he do. He understands the game. He plays it to another level. And then you know what, my man, Travis Kelce, man, if you don't have somebody that can run with a big tight end at 6'6", you know, like weighing like 265 pounds and they can run over people, you know what? And then they can go off the top with, you know what, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah,
It's just
the
like
cheetah.
unfair game. You know, it's just so unfair that, you know what, I got to say, you know, I'm going Chief all the way. But I think they win by 7 or more. So it's a little bit over whatever the line is. I know the line is about 3 now. It's going to stay the same. So I say, I go 37 to 28.
Okay,
I love
that's
it.
good. I'm
About
going
that.
the same way, but I'm going 31-28 the Chiefs. What you got, Jay?
If I have to make my prediction, 42-35, Kansas City Chiefs.
Woo, we going
All
to
right.
high number.
Oh
Mr.
yeah.
All right.
Mr. Spicer, what's your
Derek,
say-
life depends on this before you start, Derek. Like, you want everybody in Jeff City to vote for you. You gotta get this right, brother. You
I
gotta
say,
know
I say,
who
thir-
you
I
are
say-
and where you're going from, and you got to say the right number because you hit the right number, you win.
I say 35-21, Kansas City.
All right,
All
there
right.
you go. You know what, my
So
sister asked for it, so there you go, sis. We put out our predictions, and we didn't put them on screen, so nobody knows if we really did that or not. So
Well, we got to put them on screen next time so we can know because
I
I
don't-
might forget to learn.
I don't have
but
those
trust me,
graphics.
I just wanted to add one thing.
Yeah.
4 weeks ago when we played Tampa Bay, you know, Tyreek was on the sideline trying to phone for help for he said help was on the way for the defense.
That's right.
So, hey, and
Right, right.
I think they underestimate the Kansas City Chiefs defense too. So
Yeah.
they're pretty good.
They
So,
they
Where do you get that from? That kind of remind me of a guy I know named Shannon Sharp.
Mhm.
He called
Yeah.
the White House at one time. And it was against your Packers, by the way, Derek.
oh,
That's
Yeah.
right. I forgot you like some Packers. There you go.
that's my second team. Chiefs is my first love.
Not too far away from having them both play in the Super Bowl. That would have been something else, and you know State Farm would have been happy about that, right?
Yeah,
That's true.
They would have been
discount
happy.
double check there.
Yeah. Hey, Derek, anything else that you want to add before we finish up the program tonight? We've absolutely enjoyed having you on here. Hope we can have you on here again sometime. But
Oh, for sure.
just
I really,
feel free to share anything you want to right now.
well, I really
Tell him where to
appreciate.
vote at, big fella.
What's that?
Tell him where to vote at. Where to go to vote at.
Okay. First of all, I want to thank you guys for having us on again, and definitely want to thank one of my best friends in the world, Neil Smith, for coming on the show. And I'd really like the people in the Ward 4 to come out and vote April 6th, because I'm in it to win it. So, but I need that support. If you live in the Ward 4, I need you out to vote that day. So, I know I got a good lot of community support, and let's work together and make a change for the better.
Very good.
So,
Neil, anything that you want to add? Any last comments that you want to share?
Well, you know what? Derek, I came from a ward. It was a different ward number, but everybody in that Fort Ward, I would just say, you know what, in Jeff City, that, you know what, this is a great friend of mine, and I really would love for him to win this spot. Even if he don't win, he's still a winner in my life, but I really believe that he will win this spot. And if people come out and show their blessing upon him to get him to the next level. But I must say that this year, Derek Spicer is a great guy. What a wonderful guy to be involved and to know over the years. And I thank him for having me to come on here tonight to be with you guys. And I had fun. It was excellent opportunity to meet some more people in the Midwest and all over the world, whoever watching this. We had a great show. And thank you guys for inviting me, and then do whatever it takes to social distance and do the right things to respect and believe in other people's.
That's right. Well,
I
hey,
just want to add one more
Go ahead.
thing, Kirk, before we get off here.
sure.
If you're listening here, please vote for Neil to get into Canton, because Neil deserves to be into Canton.
That's
Nobody did what Neil did in his years. Please.
Well, I can put on that. I
There-
can put on that. No one numbers compete with me and Derek Thomas' number through the years of body of work. You know, Derek.
So if you have an opportunity to vote, please vote for him, because he was not only a good football player, he's a class act as a person too. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jay, you want to say something to the guys before we
Baby J.
No,
You're
Derek,
having a
Neil,
baby J.
I am having a baby. No, guys, I really appreciate you all joining us tonight. And Derek, obviously, I'm not in the Jeff City Ward 4, but you have my
Right.
endorsement as well. And you are a great guy, and
I
we
appreciate
definitely
that.
we appreciate you. And Neil, this was such an honor, man. I grew up in the 90s. I was a huge Derek Thomas, Neil Smith fan. So it's just such an honor to be able to sit here. It was very cool to watch you win those Super Bowls with John Elway back to back. It was just, this is just a lifelong dream come true. So I really appreciate you saying yes and joining us tonight. So thank you.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, guys? I want to say you guys can have me back at any time or in any situation. I'm always available.
Well,
As long as I'm here.
we will take you up on that, and it's been our honor to have you on here. And if people remember, some may remember, but you had a little paragraph that you had in one of our magazines years ago talking about that guy, Mr. Derek Spicer, who was in the Missouri Boxing Hall of Fame. So I remember that, and if anybody ever wants to see that article, let us know, and I'll make sure we post that online so you can see that. So, very good.
We're in a magazine, Neil. We made it.
Actually, it was the Smith brothers. We had both of them on
Yeah.
in that article, so that was awesome.
We did.
Yeah.
And Kirk wrote the article, so he did a great job.
Well, hey guys,
Your dad, Jay, did a great job.
you pay attention to Derek.
Absolutely.
Hey, we got Rodney Edwards saying, "What's up, Neil and D Spice?" So there's another guy that you guys played softball with, Neil and
Yeah, you remember Rodney, Neil?
Hey, Rodney, I do.
yeah. Awesome. Well, hey guys, we're gonna go off the air right now, and well, Jay's gonna close out because he's always got to have the final word. But if the two of you
Yep.
would hold on for just a few minutes until we close out the program, I know from everybody that was watching, we want to say thank you, and you guys feel free
Go
to say
Chiefs.
goodbye, and we'll move on. Go Chiefs!
Go
Right?
Chiefs.
Jeez.
Peace.
All right, we'll see you guys in just a moment. Jay. There you are, Jay. Where'd you go? My fingers.
What's
were
up,
moving
Dad?
around. Yeah. Hey, what a great program. We've run out of time. Obviously, we extended a little bit just in celebration of this week. So, why don't you go ahead and close this thing out?
Yeah, and One Nation, we really appreciate you guys tuning in tonight, sharing the show, liking it, and we obviously appreciate all of our sponsors as well. Tonight was an awesome program, super great to talk with Derek. Very awesome to meet Neil Smith, and like Derek said, get this guy into the Canton Hall of Fame. One of the best from the 1990s decade. He was picked on that first team for the 1990s all decade team. So we definitely are pushing for him to get into the Canton Hall of Fame. So share his story, get it out there, and we're excited to see Neil Smith get inducted. It's going to be very awesome. But that is all the time we have. So One Nation, Sports Locker Nation, thank you for watching One Nation, Sports Locker Magazine Extra, and we can't wait to see you guys next Monday.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you watching. Make sure you share this and ask others to join and like our Sports Locker Magazine page so you can see other interviews just like this one. Again, thank you and God bless you. We'll see you next week.